going on, everyone? It's Jack and here from Nothing But Tech. Hope you guys are all doing well. In front of me, we'll have a pretty plain box. But in this box, I have some pretty plain styrofoam and another box. But in that box, I have the OnePlus 5. I'm super pumped. This came out maybe like 2 days ago. I watched the whole launch event. At the end, they had like the secret code, and they accidentally put up the page a few minutes before the launch event ended. I was able to get the device. I think I was one of the first people to pre-order it, so I got this a day early. I'm pumped. I'm ready to open it. Let go. Okay, popping this, pop this back down. Got some styrofoam. Ooh, it's kind of sticky. Alright, if not mistaken, this is like the same box that a lot of the OnePlus phones come in. I think this is the same one as the past year, but it has a signature 5 on it. And it has some text on the side. So, alright, to get the first thing out of the way that I think you guys are most interested in, if you don't already know, this phone increased in price. It's now $475, which is not like too much in comparison to the competition, and that's for 6 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage. You can bump up to 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage, I believe, and that is around $530. If I'm wrong, I'll have the exact specs on screen, but either way, it's a great deal. In my comparison videos to other flagships, I'm going to discuss more about the price and stuff like that. But I think that for the specs and the performance that you're getting out of this phone, it's really competitive pricing, because some of the other phones are $800, $900, and they have very similar specs. This does lack a few things though, which I will try to discuss in this video and then in my final review. But yeah, I can't get over this. I want to open it up. On the side though, just to briefly note, it has dual camera and clear photos, and then on this side it has that as well. And the reason why it has that is because the main focus of this phone is the fact that it has 2 cameras and it shoots in something called portrait mode. I don't know, I've never heard of that, have you? And it's also in the top left corner. No, obviously, we'll talk more about what this phone looks like in this video, but dual cameras is one of the main selling points. This is what OnePlus is trying to drive here. In the past years, their phones have always been great, but they've always kind of lacked in camera performance. And they're saying that this year that has changed. It's now one of the best cameras, so I'm not sure how true that's going to be, but we're going to have to see, obviously, in the full review and my camera comparisons, which I know you guys liked last time, so we're going to do it again. That, I don't know, I can never get enough of that. That's just, ugh. Ooh. I like that. Alright, I'm going to take this whole section out first. See. Alright, so they really are driving the camera here, as you guys can see. This next thing in the box is this little picture. And it says shot on the OnePlus. And then it says who shot it in Iceland. So that is a really good photo. Obviously, there's definitely like post-processing done, but if that's what the camera is, I'm very impressed. They're definitely picking the best and best, just like Apple does, but this looks amazing. This photo, that's an A+ photo. I would get that printed. We got our dash charger. Signature feature of the OnePlus phones is the fact that they have dash charging. So the dash charger is pretty big, but it charges the phone in 30 minutes for like a full day's use. I think it's like 50%, so it's really impressive. One of my favorite features of last year's phone. Let's peel off this plastic. Satisfying. Anyways, yeah, I love the dash charger. It's kind of massive. It almost looks like 2 iPhone chargers maybe. But yeah, it stands up to what it did last year. I'm going to be very impressed. I'm happy to have the extra size. And then we have the signature OnePlus cable. Love that red. And then it's USB Type-C, which I also really like. That's the feature. So I'm glad that they include that. This reminds me of like iPod Touch packaging, but in here we have the quick start guide. So pop that out. That's just a very simple thing. Basically, it just tells you what everything is in the device, and that's all in there. And then you have the SIM ejector tool. It's always very cute. I like it. So that's it. And then this is just where the phone was. I love this packaging. Love the red theme and the white theme. So yeah, let's put that back away. So wow, I love this design. It's very blacked out, it's stealthy, I like it. But before anyone says anything, yeah, it looks like an iPhone. So just to quickly compare the two, they both have that nice matte black finish. They both have their logos in the center area, and then they both have the dual cameras in the top left. So it's hard to find a phone that looks as similar as the 7 Plus and this phone do, but there is one by Oppo, I think that's how you pronounce it, that looks almost identical to this. It looks like it's actually the same phone. So this does look similar, and that's what people are gonna say it's compared to, because Apple is a really popular brand. And if you look at all the sides, I mean, it just is a very similar phone in a lot of ways, even the bottom part. But I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing that it's so similar. Everyone loves the iPhone design, or most people do. A lot of people buy iPhone. So to have a phone that looks similar is going to do better in the market, because it's a lot cheaper than the iPhone. So for someone that's looking for an iPhone, it looks the same and it packs a lot of the same features. So they might end up going to the Android side of things, which is always a plus. So yeah, it looks like the iPhone, but I don't think that that is a huge deal. I like the design a lot. In person, it also looks a lot better than I was expecting. The curved edges and everything, it just looks great. It is already a fingerprint magnet though, so I guess you can fix that with like a skin or something, but this looks really great, and I love the OnePlus logo. So let's pop open the screen and turn it on. So another thing that you'll notice is that the edges are more rounded this year, and it still has pretty substantial bezels. And OnePlus did say that they wanted to do an infinity display like the S8, but they just don't have the resources to do so. So I respect them being honest. I would have loved to see an infinity display. This phone looks like it's made in 2017, whereas the S8 looks like it's made in 2020. So yeah, it sucks, but it's not a huge deal, especially for the amount of money that you save. So I'm just gonna set this up quickly. Let's go. Setting up the fingerprint sensor now. I think it's like a 0.2 second fingerprint sensor, so let's see how fast it actually stacks up. So I'll do a little pattern. Let's do a simple one. Honestly, this is not as fast as I thought it would be. Not bad though. Alright, there we go. Done. Really fast actually. Alright, so although this setup was a little bit annoying with this phone, fingerprint sensor is actually pretty fast. I love this background down here. The screen is still 1080p, but it's a nice 1080p panel. I like it, and I like that the performance is going to be so good now because it's 1080p, and I already have an update. So one good thing about OnePlus is that they update their software a lot to get out bugs and stuff, so I like that. I also like that it has like the pixel type launcher where you just swipe up to get to your app drawer. I hate the little app drawer icon now. I've gotten so used to this. So this is pretty clean. I guess I should really try out the camera, as OnePlus is really saying it's awesome. So let's see. Pop it open. Okay, so right now I'm on 1x zoom. Here's 2x zoom. This is a blatant copy of the Apple one. Let me just show you again. I mean, just look how similar these are. They both have the 1x and 2x, and then they both swipe to get to the higher zoom. So, I mean, yeah, they definitely copied Apple here, but it's good for the consumer. Competition always makes the products better, so it's a blatant copy, but it's better for us, I guess. So that's another thing, but let's see how the actual camera performs. So in the actual camera comparison, I'll have a lot of good photos, but let me just snap one here. This will just give you a vague look. So snapped another one, overhead shot. Wow, these actually look pretty good on the screen. And then you can also just zoom in to get closer. So this is 2x zoom. This is where you don't lose any quality. And then when you zoom in more, it uses digital zoom, so you could definitely tell. Okay, so this says shoot with portrait to help the subject stand out. Got it. All right, so let's see how that works. You need to place the subject between 1 to 6 feet. So let's see if I take it a little bit further away. All right, that looks good. Yeah, that actually does look pretty good. All right, let's see. So sometimes it looks a little bit too fake. Like the plant is like really close and the back of it's really out of focus. So sometimes it just looks a little bit too fake for my taste, but the iPhone was terrible when it first started, when it was in beta. So I'm assuming that this will get better over time as well. Let's see how the selfie shooter is. Want to capture a better selfie? Use beauty mode and adjust the enhancements effects to your liking. Oh, so we're not pretty enough on our own? No, just kidding. Smile capture allows you taking hands-free selfie. That's cool. Use a flashlight from the front to keep selfie bright. Wait, what? Okay, so here's another thing that they copied from Apple. They had the screen light up to take as a flash. So yeah, a lot of copying here. Won't be surprised if I see an Apple lawsuit, but like I said, it's better for the consumer. So let's see how those selfies are. We got the little Canon camera up here. This is pretty zoomed in. Let's see what it is. I don't really care that much about the selfie camera. I just use it to Snapchat a lot. So if it's okay, it's okay. My friends are gonna be like nitpicking, like, ooh, it looks a little bit too grainy there. So I think it's fine for what it is. In terms of other stuff, we still have the headphone jack, which is nice. And then we also have this little alert slider, which I really like. So this little alert slider is kind of like the iPhone's notification slider. Again, honestly, they must be really liking what Apple's doing. And this basically, you could just control how much sound comes in. It has a really satisfying click here. I like it a lot.
Hey, what is up guys, MKBHD here, and this is the OnePlus
Maybe a little bit tinny, but definitely loud. That's not even max volume. Here's max volume for you.
5. And just like every smartphone in the past 3 years, there's been leaks.
Wow. Okay. Very, very loud speaker. And the screen looks great. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. I love the software experience on this phone. I think that's one of the main selling points for me. You can't really find a phone that has these specs and this version of Android for this much money. So, I'm pretty impressed so far. There definitely are a few things where it's just like, you couldn't have made it more obvious that you ripped off Apple, but I guess we can't really hate on that. We all take things that we like and use them. So, I'm excited for this phone. I like the design of it. I think it looks pretty clean. And for $475, you can't really complain about much. I'm going to have a camera comparison for sure with the S8 and the iPhone 7 Plus. And then I'm also going to have a review video and then maybe some other coverage on the Android Central channel, which is also where I make videos if you didn't know. So yeah, let me know what else you want to see in this phone. I'm excited to play with it, use it as my daily. And I'll catch you in the next one. This phone is definitely a beast. So we'll see if it holds up. Oh, also, just like the OnePlus 5, in other dope news, MPT's V5 just launched. It looks like this, and 100% of the proceeds are going to the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. So if you want to support me, the channel, like rep some of my work, and also give to a greater cause, you should check it out. I'll link it below. It's only available for the next maybe 15 days, so you should go check it out. A lot of you guys have already purchased it. It means a lot. So thank you guys all so much for watching this one, and I'll catch you later. Bye. Before anyone says anything, yeah, it looks like an iPhone that was upside down.